Hello, everybody. Welcome to Open Range. My name is Patrick Hart. And I want to first start by thanking Beck for giving us the opportunity for being on TV this week, and also for Gary Anmanef for giving me an opportunity to, again, continue to host one night of Open Range. If we haven't already met or if you haven't seen the show yet, my name is Patrick Hart. I'm a local businessman in Bismarck. I'm a contractor. Actually, already been to 2 job sites this morning. And I was trying very hard not to get dusty on both of those. Beyond that, I've been in politics for a little bit over a decade. I've ran the state party. I've been treasurer or vice chair. I've been 2-time statewide candidate, and I've pretty much leaned in every way I can, and like to be a super volunteer. And I will say that I'm not getting paid by Soros or any magical national profit. Everything that pretty much everyone you've seen on the show this cycle has been in a volunteer position, and I like to continue to do that. Before we meet my 2 guests today, I would just like to first talk about politics in general and politics with your neighbor. I'm sure we've all been to those Thanksgiving dinners when an uncle or a niece or a nephew say something that's a little on edge. It gets everyone a little bit riled up. And I'm sure that we've all hated that situation or those 2 or 3 minutes that have passed. Why I bring that up is because one of my favorite books is a book by a guy named Stephen Covey. It's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I've read it a couple times. I've gone through course material with it. And my favorite habit I want to talk about today just for a minute. My favorite habit is I seek first to understand and then be understood. And I think that's valid in the political arena these days, because as we discuss politics, I think it's natural, because most of us scroll like we all do, never at a stop sign, of course, but we scroll and we see these talking points, and we're in our bubble and we're in our feed, our algorithm, and we get these really poignant subject matter discussions. And sometimes when we talk politics with someone from the other side, whether that's left or right, maybe we're not listening, like actively listening to what their problems are. And instead, we're just waiting for an opportunity to humiliate them with that perfect talking point that's been, put together by professionals. And that's dividing us. It's breaking relationships. It's not helping our political environment at all. So I would really like to ask you guys to, like Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand that perspective, to listen, and then to be understood. Because I know in elementary school, we all learned that the opposite of division was multiplication. But I would argue that the opposite of division is really understanding. In this episode, we're going to talk to Rissa Williams and Stacie Kruckenberg. And I know that you guys are out on the campaign trail as candidates, seeking first to understand and to listen. It's very normal for our Democratic candidates to say, I'm listening to our neighbors, we're out in the community. What have you guys been doing on the campaign trail? Rissa, have you been out door knocking or?
We haven't started yet. We've been making some calls. A lot of us we've been hesitant. We've been trusting that our representatives are representing us. And I am at a place where I was not feeling represented. So I'm out there listening, and whatever my politics are, Dem-NPL as a baseline. But as a representative, I'm supposed to go there and be the voice. I'm supposed to listen to the constituents and go and be their voice. And I don't feel like that's been happening. So here I am.
Well, thanks for coming today. Stacie, what have you heard out on the campaign trail listening to?
Well, last week we were over in Washburn at the Interpretive Center. Very interesting conversations going on. Our constituents asked us questions, and each one of us got to answer how we felt about what was going on in the world. We talked a lot about what was going on at the Strait of Hormuz, which was very interesting. Current events went right back into older events and what was happening back in the Gulf Wars way back then, when some of you were younger than me. So it was very interesting. So we've been listening. This will be like the 4th time that I've got to say my stump speech. So we started with stump speeches with the actual stump, and I wasn't sure we were doing that, but yes, we did stand on a stump and give our speech. it was very interesting for our first time. So here I am, still going on, and I hope to give this speech probably a dozen times or more.
We'll love it. Rissa, maybe just tell us and our viewers who you are. Why are you running?
I was born and raised in Minot and left as soon as I could, get out of North Dakota. And I think that's good. It's good to leave the state, to learn, to see the world. And I did. I was in the Air Force, so I traveled. I traveled more actually after I got out than while I was in. And then I came home. I had a child. We wanted to buy a home. We came back. We bought a home. My son was educated mostly in Bismarck Public Schools. I live in Mandan now. And I'm just happy to be in a place that feels safe, and I miss the neighborliness, and I would love to get back to that. I'm looking forward to that with the door knocking. I would like to get to know my neighbors better and just have that sense of community.
Yeah, I live in South Bismarck. I absolutely love our neighborhood. We have barbecues. There's a turquoise table we all meet at. It's very community driven. And I think that all too often in society, maybe we have been missing that. Stacie, tell what about your background? What are you in this for?
I'm a graduate of Mandan High. Just cried when I saw Mandan High be torn out, but there is a new school coming. I'm looking forward to that. So I graduated in 1979 from Mandan, went to Hazen, DGC. My first husband worked at DGC, and I purchased a flower shop named Pretty Petals on Main Street in Hazen, and I was there for 3 decades before I retired. So I did a little bit of everything, volunteer work. I had the newspaper one time call me a one-person chamber as a joke, but I pretty much volunteered for everything. I'm currently president of the Hazen Art and Craft Association, and arts and culture are very important to all small towns. I know firsthand that the vital role our local trades and businesses play in our community's health. We almost lost our hospital. We have a new one now. It's essential. Schools are essential. So we could talk about so many different things. I was in retail trades, all kinds of different things. I love my Mercer County Museum. So you have to know where you came from to know where you're going. So, I mean, we can talk on so many different subjects. I'll let Pat go back and pick one for us.
Well, let's jump into education really quick. My parents are actually in town helping us landscape at our house this weekend, and he's getting ready for the 250th celebration in his hometown. And he's going to talk about the 7 iterations of the Pembina Public School and how that's changed over the last actually 200 years in Pembina. He, as part of the school board, helped build a new school, so hopefully that'll be an anchor for the town. You were up in Hazen forever? Have you been in school board, or can you tell us about education?
Not on the school board, but our education, I think, is really top notch. We have really good educators. We have really good stuff they can do in sports. Our art is really good. We have murals in our town. Come to our pretty little town in Hazen and look around. I just read a survey where North Dakotans, 84% of us are proud to be from North Dakota. So we all have that pride in our little communities and pride in our state, which I think as political candidates, we can capture that as a unity. And our state, I think, has a little bit more civility than what I've seen in politics in other places. So I'm hoping that when we go door knocking, civility is number one. People out there, I'm coming, knocking on your door. So, and I hope I have a positive experience. I've had a really positive experience with mailing letters and asking for donations. Thank everyone who's donated to me. Thank everyone who's sent me a letter of encouragement.
That's perfect. How have your first couple weeks been on the campaign trail?
Stacie referred to unity, and I think common ground is just something we can unite on. All of us want food, shelter, a good education. I think I received an excellent public education. I think my son, complete sentences. I told my son last night, he's one of the kindest people I know. And I think some of that comes from our schools. Yes, he was born with some of it. I raised him that way. But our public schools, they give our kids such a great sense of belonging, and our teachers are top notch. Our pay is very much not.
Yeah.
It is absolutely at the bottom, and we have to do better for them. On the campaign trail, everyone is worried about the price of groceries and gas. And apparently now the war is boring, which is just so offensive to me.
Sure.
As a veteran, to find out that the people over there are currently boring our commander-in-chief, I have a hard time calling him that.
Well, and help me out. I was reading your bio on the way in. You, United States Air Force?
Yes.
Tell us about your service.
So it was a really long time ago. I went straight out of high school. I turned 17. Well, no, I graduated in May, like most. I was still 17, signed my final documents a month before my 18th birthday. So really old school. Signed up at 17. My mom had to sign the final papers. I went in 2 weeks after my birthday and spent Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's in basic training.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good way to grow up fast. I have a really strong work ethic. I was stationed in England for 2 years, so learned how to drive a bus on the wrong side of the road. My first ambulance shift, so jumping ahead, my first ambulance shift 5 years ago, we picked up a flight crew from Sanford Air Med it was during COVID, and we went to SMC, Sakakawea Medical Center in Hazen, because that's where I work, and picked up a COVID patient to be flown probably to Fargo or Sioux Falls. My trainer said, don't clip a wing. And as soon as I smelled that jet fuel, took me straight back to the flight line in the Air Force. Really a full circle moment for me, a lifetime of service. And that's just who I am.
For sure. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a break for a commercial break. Patrick Hart, we have Stacie Kruckenberg, and we have Rissa Williams. We'll be back after these paid sponsors.
Stop out to our facility, Highway 22 South. Let us build a truck for you.
Find relief for what ails you at Steepney Tea Apothecary. Teas, supplements, tinctures, and more. Formulated to fight whatever has you down. We're Bismarck Mandan's favorite place to find delicious, natural, and easy ways to alleviate symptoms brought on by anything from colds to cancer. Brew a better you at Steepney Tea Apothecary. Steepney products may cause side effects, including but not limited to improved mood, deeper sleep, enhanced hydration, renewed sense of smell, increased energy levels, superior balance, boosted immunity, proper digestion, restored sense of calm, and a delightful smelling home.
Welcome to Arrowhead Cleaners. Newly renovated, modernized, and ready to make your cleaning needs hassle-free. From commercial and residential wash and fold laundry services to the latest in professional dry cleaning techniques, we are dedicated to your unique needs, offering alterations, fabrications, and even custom hat making. So whether you're a busy professional, a family on the go, or even a rodeo champion, Arrowhead Cleaners is here to take your things from messed up to dressed up. Now celebrating our 64th year in Arrowhead Plaza.
Welcome to Radiant Retreat Tanning and Spa in Mandan, where a relaxing spa experience meets the latest in healing innovations. Take total control of your massage in our Hydro Massage Bed. Experience whole body healing in our Zero Body Cryo Bed. Let our salt sauna and halo generator restore your respiratory and skin health. And of course, tailored tanning will keep you looking as good as you feel. Discover your best self at Radiant Retreat, 1307 First Street Northeast, Mandan.
Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain, guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Hi, my name is Patrick Hart. Again, welcome back to this episode of Open Range. Today we have a couple great candidates, District 31 House, Rissa Williams, and District 33 State House, Stacie Kruckenberg. Now, Rissa, before that commercial break, we were talking about your service in the Air Force.
Yes.
Can you kind of continue on that? What rank were you? Why'd you get in?
Okay.
What was your experience like?
I went in because I was working at Burger King. I was at Burger King for 2 years in high school, and I didn't have a college plan at all. I don't remember anyone really trying to prepare me for college. I didn't feel like it was an option, which I think we do a much better job of now. However, I knew my career plan was not Burger King. So I joined the Air Force and I wanted to see the world, and I did. I was active duty for 4 years. I was stationed after basic training in tech school. Tech school, I actually trained to be an in-flight refueling specialist on a KC-135 tanker. That job didn't work out. It was not what I wanted to do. It was fascinating and wonderful, and I would have been a flight crew, but it just wasn't what I wanted. So I ended up in vehicle operations, motor pool, which is probably the least glamorous Air Force job, one of them. But I drove flight crews in England at RAF Lakenheath in the United Kingdom for 2 years. I was there, got some medals and awards for outstanding unit and an achievement award. So I have some really cool pictures of baby me, 19 years old, getting medals pinned on my chest. That's fun. And then I went to Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas for 18 months right after I turned 21. Again, a good way to grow up, get some things out of your system. But I got to drive the Thunderbirds from time to time. So I did a lot of aircrew transport, and you'd pick them up at the squadron where they are stationed, where they do their paperwork, they get everything ready to go out, and then you pick them up there and take them out to the flight line. So you learn how to drive safely on a flight line, which is pretty important. I got out as an E4, they call them a buck sergeant.
Okay.
That rank no longer exists. So I'm super proud that I have won my AFSC, which was my Air Force specialty code. They've grown and changed, and we're all so terrified of change. My AFSC no longer exists. My rank no longer exists. They've been phased out and replaced. I think it's cool to be alive and still active, but I have these little bits of history in my own life that are just history. They're not even current. I came back to North Dakota in 1989, right before the oil bust.
Oh.
And I had 4 part-time jobs and a 3.5 GPA at Minot State. So I was actually taking broadcast journalism. I wanted to be a writer when I grew up. Someday I might still write a book.
Yeah.
For now, I just keep working multiple jobs. So I work for Bismarck Public Schools. I work in Mercer County Ambulance. And then my summer job right now is I'm being a nanny for a friend whose kids are out of school and just having fun with them. And on the weekends, I go do an ambulance shift.
Can you tell me maybe anything about your experience in the Air Force that has led to some of your political views or your thoughts on the way that maybe our society could be better?
It's funny because, I was so young, 18, 19, and I forgot to go back and see who was running for president in 1986. I kind of feel like I might have voted for Ronald Reagan. Because when you're that young, you talk to the people you respect, the people you know, and you say, how should I vote? I want to be a responsible voter. That was uncomfortable for me because I did what I was told, and that is not who I am. Granted, you take orders at certain times, but for voting, you have to educate yourself. You have to vote with your heart. Educate yourself on the measures, on the candidates, on their voting records, and then go in intelligently and informed and vote with your heart and your conscience. Vote with what you know to be right. And as a representative, that's exactly how I intend to be.
Why politics? Why now? Was there a straw that broke the camel's back that made you get active and step into the limelight?
Mostly I just felt like at this point, none of us are being representative on either side. I think, especially in national politics, but our local politicians, I think, support the national politics rather blindly. I don't think they're voting their conscience. I don't think they're representing their constituents. They're certainly not representing me. And it just got to a point of, I can't wait until the next election. There was an opening and I said, if one of you will nominate me, put my name down. And it's a little terrifying. I'm getting more comfortable with it. I keep trying to educate myself. I know that when I'm elected, I will be clueless when I start. Not entirely clueless, but I'll be learning a new job. And I welcome that.
I like I've had more than a couple jobs in my career before I ran my own thing, but I like the perspective that new employees have because they do have their eyes wide open. They are learning the process and they do maybe question things a little bit more than someone who's, been an incumbent for 22 years. And I'm really excited to see you step into that new role. And I actually remember asking you to run for office back in 16 maybe or 18 when District 30 was up.
Yes.
So I'm glad to see you finally on the ballot.
I remember when you said Rissa's back, and I guess I'm back.
What are you doing this season right now to prepare you for that role that you're going to have this fall?
We have a lot of meetings, and so we're learning about the ballot measures, past legislative sessions. Stacie has her binder here, mine's in the car, and they're just really trying to help us. We have such a great team. My running mates and I are becoming friends, which I just love because there's so much division on the other side and infighting, and we are just coming together and we just want to make it work again. It's not working. It's broken and we're making it work. So like I said, so many of our constituents, all of us are so worried about the cost of living. My son and I live together right now. He's 24 and we would very much like to have our own places. But I said, right now, let's just stick with food and shelter and not rock that boat because our economy is scary.
Sure.
And it shouldn't be. You shouldn't work 40 hours or more a week and not be able to afford food and shelter and healthcare and education. That's what our government is supposed to do.
Well, and I think affordability seems to be the catchword this cycle. And I've spent a lot of time thinking, what does that mean? Does that mean we're buying different food at the grocery store that's maybe a little bit cheaper, a little bit more processed? Is that going to have health effects on us? Are vehicle purchases going to change? Are we going to see more, motorcycles, maybe smaller vehicles instead of the big trucks and big SUVs that we've seen? Have you had to change anything in your kind of day-to-day life because of this cost of living increase?
I drive a 10-year-old car with 155,000 miles on it. And it's got some little cosmetic things. From a distance, it looks pretty good. Kind of like our government. Up close, it needs some work. And I'm going to keep driving it. I would like to get another car. I plan on driving for another 10 or 20 years. And this car is not going to make it that long. But again, right now, I live in a modest townhome with my son. And we like each other, so that works. But I would like to live alone. He would like to grow. And, obviously when he gets married and has a family, we need to fix that living arrangement. But for now, we're just kind of in a holding pattern because it's safe. And I don't feel like a big change would be.
Now, when I was reading up on your bio preparing for this, I noticed that you had won awards from the Bismarck City Commission and also from North Dakota United. Can you kind of talk about the efforts that you put in to be recognized for your role in the community?
Yeah, thank you for that. I usually don't tell people when I win awards. Nancy Guy told the City Commission that I had won a North Dakota Human Rights Coalition Award. That was the Arc of Justice Award. and that was 2016. My friend Kevin Tengestal nominated me, and he said, wherever marginalized people are, you will find Rissa trying to lift them up. That is who I've been my whole life. When I was a little girl, my mother, I used to watch the Underdog cartoon show. And I said, Mom, what's an underdog? And she basically defined a Democrat. And I was like, that's my superhero. Yes, I want to help people for my whole life. So the Arc of Justice Award, it comes from a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. The arc of justice is long, but the moral arc is long, but it curves toward justice, something like that. I think it's a long, hard row, but we'll get there. And I will keep lifting people up with my last breath. So that was that one. The North Dakota United, that was when I was working at Wachter Middle School. And my son is Hawaiian. I lived in Hawaii for 7 years, and yes, came back to North Dakota. Hawaii and Florida skies do not have North Dakota skies beaten.
Amen.
Ours are right up there. Half my phone is pictures of the sky. I just love it. And I would like to not see that get taken away. Let's not pave the prairie like we did Paradise. The North Dakota United Award, I brought an ukulele to school because the kids I work with, they have to give up one of their electives. So in middle school, you get 2 electives, and they have to give up one of their electives to learn English because they come to us from literally all over the world, Europe, Africa, South and Central America, just like our ancestors did from all over the world. And my grandfather did not speak English until he was 8 years old. So I helped these kids learn English, and I brought my ukulele to school so they could just have some kind of art introduction. And it turned into a couple of grants and several $1,000s donated by my friends and strangers. And we gave these kids ukuleles, and every Friday we would play. It was a dream job and one of the best professional times of my life, just having fun playing music with kids.
Well, Rissa, you sound like a real do-gooder. I'm glad you're on the ticket, and we will learn more about our candidates after this commercial break.
Wow, yeah, I'm done.
Base Fluke Trailers of Dickinson is a family-owned dealer with expert staff that know their products front to back. We stock over 150 units of all types and can custom order a trailer with the unique features and capabilities you require for brands you can trust. Our experienced service team is the reason we're also the best place to have your trailer customized or repaired. Count on Base Fluke Trailers of Dickinson to keep you hauling.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Cassette Motors, where our customers send their friends.
Yeah, U.S. Cattlemen is a member organization that each member has a vote in anything we do with policy. We're representing the independent cattleman or the cow-calf guy or an independent feeder or whatever. We like to support the independent producer. We're talking about mandatory ID. We're talking about cool. We're talking about all the legislation that's going to be coming down with the new administration. There's going to be lots of moving and shaking. So always check us out at our website, uscattleman.org.
We're talking to people today about investments. Let's see if we can get somebody. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a retirement account?
I do. I'm invested in some annuities.
Fixed income? How is that?
It was better a few years ago. Each year, it buys less and less, barely keeping up.
That's where gold can make a difference. Unlike fixed payouts, gold rises with inflation, so you're not stuck with a low fixed payment.
So gold isn't stuck in the past like my annuity?
Don't let inflation erode your retirement savings. Invest in gold. Invest with Noble Gold Investments.
On $27,000 in credit card debt.
You have to radically do something different, because if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting.
Now's not the time to be doing math.
The time to be doing math was when we didn't go into $200,000 of debt.
If you are freaked out and you're stuck in these debt payments and you think it has to be part of your life, it doesn't.
We are ladies of another view. Join us every weekday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. as we discuss the big topics from North Dakota, the nation, and around the world.
We chat with everyone from celebrities and medical professionals to politicians, local business owners, and neighbors about the topics and stories that affect all of us.
We are unscripted and uncensored real news from real people. So join us every weekday morning for Ladies of Another View on Beck.
Well, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us out there in TV viewer land. My name, of course, is Patrick Hart, as you can see on the screen. We have two do-gooders today. I like that title for you guys. Rissa Williams, we just heard from, and Stacie Kruckenberg. You're running for District 33 House, and that district is up in the Hazen area. Does that include Beulah? We got a map up here. 33.
We've got 7 cities in 33 there. We've got part of Mandan. We've got Center. We've got a little bit of the north side of New Salem across. Then we've got Zap, and we've got Golden Valley. We've got Beulah, and we've got Center, and we've got part of Washburn and little bit of the Underwood area. So, and Beulah, Hazen, Stanton.
Now, as a Hazen, you live in Hazen for quite some time. What are you doing to get out to that entire district? You have a little bit of a different situation where you maybe have a 300-mile loop to get through your
We are doing something interesting. We're building turfs. Ooh, it sounds really interesting. But we are going to divide up our territory between all the candidates. We're going to build some turfs, big circles, and we're going to start there, and then we're going to cross over to each other's turfs. So basically, we're going to start with a circle, and we're going to come out, and we're going to go door knocking, and then we're going to switch because I am with Kimbo Banks and Signe Snortland, and they live in Mandan, and I live in Hazen. So they're going to start in their area. I'm going to start in Hazen, Beulah. We're going to circle wide. We're going to try to do all kind of events. I'm crossing over. I go to District 31 and do some of their events because Mandan is Mandan.
Yeah.
So, and I got to reach out to those Mandan people. So, and all you Mandan people that I grew up with in high school, I'm coming to look for you over 4th of July. Have our all-class reunion and do all that fun stuff.
What are some upcoming events maybe we can help participate in your candidacy? What's coming up?
We are having some upcoming events. There is going to be an ice cream social for District 41. I believe it is.
This Thursday?
This Thursday.
5 to 7?
5 to 7. Rissa knows probably more than I do because she was paying more attention at our meeting.
And I'm going.
And she's going. So attend that. We are Pride.
We'll have a table.
Table at the Pride event. 4th of July, we are going to be in the parade. We're going to have a float. We are going to go to every little county fair in my district, Rissa too. We have some powwow events that we have a booth for. So we are going to be very active in our districts. And if you see any of us and you have anything to say to us, just walk up to us and say, hey, can you talk to me for a little while? I have this issue or I'm concerned about this. We are here to listen. We are listening. We are mobilizing. We're organizing. We're united for our families and we're committed to progress. And we have this great campaign manager named Bob Valou. I want to shout out to Bob. He has kept us, it's like herding cats. There's 15 of us candidates and we range 4 generations from 21s all the way to 77. So there is such a wide range and we learn from each other at our meetings. We are sharing and we are making great friends.
Well, and I think that is valid. Bismarck Mandan, I'm sure you guys know, has a full slate of candidates for every House, every Senate district this cycle. And I think that's a testament to kind of organizing, to grassroots, and also to the need for change.
Need for change. We definitely need for change. We had all made speeches. We are giving our stump speeches. We have our bullet points that we are talking, our pillars that we call our pillars that we are going to stick to and talk to. We're going to have town halls. So watch it, newspapers, Facebook pages. You can go to our webpage, which is bizmanleaders.com, and find out where we're having these town halls. We are having the data center issues going on. There are so many different things going on. Two data centers in Mandan, data center in Mercer County, data center in Oliver County. I toured the Edgewood. I don't know if you went, but I toured the Edgewood one, which was very interesting. I learned so much. There's so much going on in our state right now that we need to watch. From the Ethics Commission all the way to what's happening with the healthcare dollars that we're spending. The big ugly bill is going to kick in. My district is going to lose an intake valve from Washburn that was years in the making, 1.7 million. We've got this little book that all of us candidates got that we can see what the effect of the big beautiful bill is going to do in our districts and our communities, and it's devastating. So, and they're kicking in 2027. So there's going to be a lot of different changes. The Social Security fight is going to be real. They want to increase the age. That is going to be a real fight. In North Dakota, a lot of people rely on Social Security. We're going to see some outrage on that.
No, you mentioned your pillars. What are maybe your top 3 issues that you're campaigning for this cycle?
Let me get into our pillars here. We're both looking through our notes and talking about our top pillars. Our top pillars, and we need to think about the priorities that we want to go onto our brochures. So we are talking about healthcare. We are talking about day-to-day affordability. We are talking about insurances of all different types. We are going to be talking about education, education, education. We want meals for our children. Free meals for children is a no-brainer. We had an expert come talk to us and tell us some of the reasons. I did not realize that we have school lunches because in World War II, our men were not nutritious. They didn't have enough nutrients to follow the requirements to be drafted. And I did not know that. That was a fact I learned that our children need to have nutrition. It's just that simple. To be a well-balanced, healthy adult, you need to eat. So that's a no-brainer.
What maybe is your vision for the state? If once you get elected, do you have a couple different items that you're looking to implement right away, or?
I do. I think right away the first thing that we need to do is we need to work on the budget. And the budget is, and our governor has called for us all to squeeze 10% out of our budget. That is going to be hard. I think it can be done. It's going to be hard. We need to look at the necessary things to be done. I think there needs to be funding shifted from here and there. Our legacy fund, that's going to be an issue, tapping into it. What are we going to use it for? We need to be the eyes of the people to make sure that the money is spent wisely for the people.
And in the state.
And in our state, yes. And so that'll be some big issues. Our healthcare issues are going to be huge. We're getting some money in the budget. We're going to have to spend them very, very wisely.
No, help me out. Healthcare. When I think of the healthcare hubs across the state, I think of Lisbon and Langdon down in Hettinger. They have a really big rural facility. Does Beulah-Hazen? Do you have a big healthcare?
We do. We have a brand new hospital. I say brand new. It's not brand new anymore, but we have a nice new hospital and it has a care center on the side for there's a hospice area, and then there's where you can live assisted living there. So, and those areas are so much needed. We have patio homes for people that live there. in our EMT, which is brand new, also there is a little apartment that Rissa gets to stay in when she's a emergency weekender. It has a little kitchen and everything, and she's on call that whole weekend. And if we have a shortage of EMTs, you can talk about it more. The healthcare can just go on and on and on. Our state has a lot of needs. She's a traveling emergency trained medic. And how many places do you, I mean,
Right now, I'm just in Mercer County. Happily, the organization is great. The hospital staff is great. They have a fully staffed emergency room 24 hours a day. What they don't have is 24-hour surgeons. They have a staff surgeon, our medical director. So they can do some procedures there. But when I'm in Beulah and we go out to Zap, it's 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes back. And then sometimes the ER stabilizes them and we take them straight to Bismarck or fly them to Fargo. Mercer County has it good because they have a good hospital. And by squeaking through, my manager, Marcy, manages to get the shifts covered, or she has to cover them herself. But I drive an hour. I just worked a 63.5-hour shift. So I went out Friday night and worked from Friday afternoon until Monday morning, drove to town and went straight to my next job because none of us are getting rich.
Sure.
The payout there is decent. We just got raises. It's not great, but when I was full-time there, I made more than I do working in Bismarck Public Schools because our hours are so limited. But my coworkers, they're so professional. I think we do a great job. I always feel like I'm just barely doing enough. I think I do a good job.
You know, we got 1 minute before commercial, but can either of you talk to any potential budget shortfalls because of the big, beautiful bill that are going to be felt in that facility?
In our facility, I don't know of any shortfalls, but I mean, our hospital could always use more money. Always. We could always have more physicians, more just people who work there, just more money to come in for work. And I'm not really good at healthcare insurance, but that's a whole nother issue that we need to get into, is how these small towns are getting paid. Because I do know that we have a recovery summit that's in Stanton that is closing because the medical insurance is not getting paid fast enough for them to pay their bills to keep the facility open, which is another issue. I mean, they're little issues make big cycle issues. And so solving all these issues, we just need to sit down and start doing the work.
Well, I think that supporting rural healthcare is the #1 issue on my book. After this commercial break, we'll jump back into that.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I want to tell you, Lady Blue and I, we got a lot of miles together, but you know what? You and I got a lot of miles together as well. And all I want to do is bring to you the information on how we maintain a domestic supply of food and fuel for future generations. So I'm going to continue to travel the world and unearth the stories that make it possible that we can live in a free United States of America.
Welcome to Arrowhead Cleaners. Newly renovated, modernized, and ready to make your cleaning needs hassle-free. From commercial and residential wash and fold laundry services to the latest in professional dry cleaning techniques, we are dedicated to your unique needs, offering alterations, fabrications, and even custom hat making. So whether you're a busy professional, a family on the go, or even a rodeo champion, Arrowhead Cleaners is here to take your things from messed up to dressed up. Now celebrating our 64th year in Arrowhead Plaza. Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain, guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
We are the St. Mary Sisters. We are building a new facility here in Bismarck, North Dakota, for the sake of training young women to be courageous teachers in this state. The sisters will educate the younger generation to be fully alive through truth and discipline. The Sisters' life of devotion and joy will make a positive difference in your community. Check out what we're up to, see what's going on, and join our mission to make a difference in the lives of the children of North Dakota.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Hello, my name is Patrick Hart. Welcome back to Open Range. Appreciate you sticking through those commercial breaks with me. Today we have Rissa Williams running for District 31 and Stacie Kruckenberg running for District 33. Now, we ended that last segment talking about funding for rural healthcare. And in between the break, we talked about Social Security funding. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
My concern with Social Security being cut is that a lot of our seniors, especially in nursing homes, but even those that are lucky enough to still be in their private homes, and by lucky, I mean, I hope they're being cared for. But in nursing homes, Social Security is the basis of some of that funding to pay for their room and their care. If we cut Social Security drastically, one, they won't be able to afford staff. If it goes low enough, they won't even be able to afford their bed. And what are we going to do? Put them on the street? And then have a bunch of 90-year-old homeless people with medical conditions? I mean, are we really that draconian? So then that goes right into homeless veterans and VA care. I have VA healthcare. It's been absolutely life-changing for me because I have worked multiple jobs my whole life. I have always worked. In high school, I was working probably 20 hours a week. Even in the Air Force, I would have side jobs, mostly just because people would ask me and I'd say yes. I had to learn to say no. So I would have these side jobs in a snack bar, microwaving chicken patties for my fellow airmen. But it was fun. I would get to know people. I learned a lot about football, which was important. But my VA healthcare, it is very much like socialized medicine. I have to use the VA healthcare center. If they don't have that available, then I can get a referral for outside the VA network. I think I'm receiving excellent healthcare. If I lose that, I go back to being afraid to go to the doctor because I can't pay the bills.
You know, and that's really, I think part of this affordability conversation is how is society change? How are our actions going to change when we when we start to be able to not afford to, live our normal lives, to go to the hospital, to get an education, to, provide that car payment, or to have someone leave and make you an empty nester. One thing that also gets brought up a lot, childcare assistance. Are we worried about, are you guys hearing about childcare assistance being cut or the impacts on your communities?
Childcare is going to be drastically cut. We just learned when we're going through our statistics of what the big beautiful bill is going to do, and I just read, and I just put it away. I should have it marked. That there are going to be so much impact, and I'm sorry, you guys, the big ugly bill here. A typical family of four will see an annual tax increase of $3,189. And I did talk about Washburn losing the $7.1 million for the new water intake system. That is in my district alone. Canceled grants are going to happen, and Carrington is going to be affected by that. And sure, like I can't find that childcare. The elimination of the Head Start program would remove no-cost childcare for 2,504 low-income children in our state, which is a lot of kids.
Parents can't work if they don't have somewhere for their kids to go that's safe.
They don't. Beulah Hazen, do you have childcare facilities, or is there a lot of at-home
We just had 2 new ones built. They're not new to the people of Hazen, but they're new to our. One was built in a church that was no longer being used, and another one was a business that shut down that had been a church and had been something else. So that is through the government came through and funded those. And if we eliminate those, where are all those kids going to go? Because when you work in coal country, you're working shift work, childcare and shift work. And if you're a 2-parent home, both parents have to work. That's the reality nowadays. Even if you work at one of the power plants, your significant other is also working either at the power plant or in another coal industry job or a community-based job. And it's all around coal country. It's all around our gas and coal, and that is what we all live on. So it's important for us to have childcare and healthcare. Coal country, we all need healthcare because of all the substances that are at those power plants.
No, Stacie, you live up in coal country. Do you find it hard to be a Democrat up there, or are those some different but shifted values from us in here in Bismarck-Mandan?
I was on Main Street for 3 decades, and everybody in town knows I'm a Democrat. And they know I'm a socialist Democrat. So mainly for me, it works out good because when you're a business owner, you want to be socialist. You're building loyalty. And so I did all the service work I needed to do. And my community was number one. Your family first, then work, and then your community. And so if you do those things, and that was my work ethic at our jobs too. My girls or my young men who worked there, and I had both young women and girls who worked, and I had a flower shop. So anybody who didn't catch the first parts, it was a flower shop. So we were there for the most important parts of their lives, your weddings, your funerals, your school functions. So we were supporting our own children. So if there was a track meet and every one of us who worked there had kids in track, we put the sign on the door. We're at the school at the track meet. Here's our phone number. Call us if it's an emergency. But we tried to be real good, loyal people in town. I just call us town folk, and then the farm folk who come in, they're mostly Republican, but they're socialists too. We have to remember, we have the Bank of North Dakota, socialists, and then West River Telephone, cooperative, socialist. Rough Rider, Touchstone, cooperative.
The mail.
Socialist, the mail. We need to balance capitalism with socialism. And I'm a big believer in that we can balance it and we can do it. It's just going to take time.
Now, Rissa, we only have a couple minutes left. If you had a minute or two to tell your constituents why to vote for you, what would your pitch be?
As we were coming into this election cycle, I started looking up different things like at my job at a Bismarck Middle School, the students are all given a pocket constitution. So I read it, and our government was designed in the Constitution to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. And turns out I'm people. And I want to go represent my neighbors and the people of the state. I think I'm a good person. I think I have strong ethics and strong morals. And I would say some of the people currently in office are a little sketchy. I don't think they're representing their neighbors. I don't think they're representing the people who elected them. And it's time for us to get back to that. This supermajority, some people might think that's a great thing. Oh, we always win, but at what cost? And are you really winning? They're not really speaking for you.
I love that. Are they really winning?
Yeah.
Stacie, can I give you maybe a couple minutes to make your pitch to the people?
Sure. I am running for the State House to be a voice for our small towns and to ensure our local businesses and community organizations have the support they need to thrive. I also want to protect our resources. North Dakota has wonderful resources, and sometimes it's as simple as our beautiful sunset. Just protecting our resources.
Well, yeah, and you guys mentioned that water intake facility up in Washburn. I guess the big issue this year is how to regulate these new upcoming data centers. We don't have a lot of time to get into it, but I know that the Missouri River right out, side the studio is at a significant low. Lake Skakawea is significantly low, and I keep hearing about how much water these facilities are going to use. Are you hearing about that out on the campaign trail?
and yes, we are, and they are having a power plant project that's going to be right there by Stanton. And it's hard for me to think that the power plants are going to take water from the river and downstream. There's an intake project that just got canceled to give people water. The people need to decide. I mean, it's common sense. The workers need water, so does the company. It's going to have to be worked out.
Well, and really, I see that really as a big juxtaposition between the Democrats and the Republicans. Are we going to support the people? Are we going to, provide services? Or are we going to provide corporate welfare and $500 million pipelines and on and on? What are your thoughts on government and society and how that should interact?
For me, it's easy. Government is for the people, by the people. You must provide for the people. The people need the resources first, and then the companies. We wouldn't have a Social Security debt if we stopped paying at $150,000. If we had to pay Social Security for every wage all the way up, there would be no need. Problem solved.
Rissa, any final words?
Equal taxation, equal representation, and all of these tax breaks going to big corporations. And, oh, hey, I got $1,600 last year. That's not going to cover the $3,000 increase.
Sure.
So it's time for us to take our country back.
Can we do this real quick?
We got about 30 seconds left, so I don't know if we have that. But ultimately, the difference I really see as between the GOP and the Democratic nonpartisan league is that the GOP doesn't believe that government can help people or society. They see it as a hindrance. And this compares to Democrats who believe that the government can run efficiently and effectively and provide services and solution that maybe industry cannot. This is why we need Democrats to be elected, because we put forth bills and policies that are really designed to help and create a government that works for all of us. With that, I definitely, Rissa, Stacie, you got my vote today. I appreciate you coming on the show, and we will see you guys next week.